Again, last night he was terrible. And now they're coming out talking about he might have had a hamstring issue. It seems like every time he plays bad, he comes up with an issue, Skip. If you think about it, a couple of weeks ago, he had the lat. He had very similar to Dak Prescott. Last night, his hamstring bothered him. What does that have to do with his decision-making? There are several times he has the tight end right in his line of sight.
He did.
Just dump the ball to the tight end. That got nothing to do with the lat. That has nothing to do with his hamstring.
Nope.
Russell Wilson is not seeing the field very well. He's playing even worse than he's seeing the field.
That's
and
true.
I don't know what kind of protection they got going on, Skip, where they just allow men to run scot-free up the middle of the field. Either change the protection, go rip or liz, go liz or rip, or you gap protected where you block down and you turn the outside guys loose. Let them travel the farthest to get to your quarterback. Don't give Derwin James, don't give the middle backer a free shot or a free run at your quarterback. Russ, what are you doing? Do you not see them like, oh, man, I might need to redirect this protection. Hey, instead of we got a right call on, let's go Liz.
Yep.
Slide the line to the left, turn the back, send the back to the right, and block it up like that. Skip, he's playing bad. $245 million, this is what it's gotten him. 5 touchdown passes in 6 games. He's 30th in completion percentage. The worst scoring offense in the NFL. 15 points a game. That defense is good enough to have won 5 of those ball games.
I'll buy that.
They're 4th in scoring defense, considering they're getting nothing, absolutely nothing from their offense.
Yep.
And they're still giving up 16.5 points a game. No Randy Gregory. Ronald Darby's down. They played a rookie last night, and he got it handed to him. It's trial by fire. He had 4 pass interference. They're a very undisciplined team. They're leading the league in penalties. They had another 150 yards last night. The thing you had.
Coaching.
You either coach it or condone it.
You do.
That's it. The 2 C's. You coaching it or you condoning it.
Yeah.
Now, which is it? How do you put a stop to it? Or when are you going to put a stop to it? But Russell Wilson, Skip, 7 drives after halftime, 6 punts and a field goal. And on the field goal, they didn't gain a yard because the Broncos D intercepted Herbert.
Well, they got 3 points after half.
Yeah,
right?
3 points, yeah. But I'm saying they had 6 punts, 1 field goal.
6 punts. I think
6 punts. No,
okay.
6 punts.
Okay.
1 field goal, 0 yards that was set up by an interception.
And Russ's stats in the second half and overtime were?
3 of 11 for 15 yards.
Say that again. 3 of 11 for 15 yards?
I don't give a damn if he ain't got but 1 leg. He should have completed more than 3 passes for 11 yards. 15 yards. Skip, this is embarrassing. This is an embarrassing. And that's why I didn't go to the game. This is exactly why. Because this is bad. I don't know what's going on at Russ, but it seems like a man that has a lot of other things on his mind than football.
It does.
That's just me personally. I could be wrong, but this is not. I've never seen Russell Wilson play this bad in my entire life. Not as a rookie, not as a 3rd year, not as a sophomore slump, not as a 5-year vet, not even last year, Skip, when he was down.
He was down.
Russell never looked this bad. He looks downright awful.
I'm going to see you, and I'm going to raise you. They gave 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 5th-round pick, and had to extend them, as you just pointed out, for 5 years and $243 million, 161 guaranteed $1 million.
Yeah. And they got Noah Fan out of the deal, and they got Shelby Harris, who was starting for the Broncos. Yes.
They got them, and Drew Lock, I thought was going to start, but guess what happened?
Geno.
Out of nowhere, Geno happened.
Geno playing better than Russ.
He's playing better than Russ. Seattle has a 1-game record better than the Broncos.
Yeah.
They're 3-3. They're tied for first in their division. And Geno leads the league in completion percentage. He's 4th in QBR. He's graded by Pro Football Focus second only to Josh Allen among all quarterbacks in overall quarterback grade. That's phenomenal. I didn't see that one coming.
No, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Okay, because I thought Drew Lock was going to be the starter. Silly me.
I didn't think Drew Lock could beat Geno out, Skip. I also thought they might go in another direction for a quarterback.
I did too.
But history says we've seen Geno. We've seen him, Skip. It's not like all of a sudden, where did Geno come from? Has he ever played football before? I know. We've seen his body of work. We've seen his resume, and it wasn't good.
It never looked like this.
Thank you.
But all of a sudden, the pressure was off in Seattle because nobody expected the Seahawks to do anything.
Correct.
All of a sudden, the pressure went mile high
Yes.
for Russell Wilson. So here's my take on Russell Wilson. Once upon a time, he was an underrated, sort of overachieving 3rd-round pick. Remember this?
Yep.
Out of Wisconsin via North Carolina State via baseball, where he tried minor league baseball. And remember, out of nowhere, he rises up and wins the job. Remember this? And Pete Carroll closes his eyes and says, I'm going with Russell Wilson.
Right.
The undersized, what do we give him? Is he 6 feet? Maybe 6 feet.
Right.
They had a little video of Elway hugging him. Elway looks like he's 6 inches taller than Russell Wilson. What do you give John? 6'4"?
He's 6'3".
Okay, 6'3".
Yeah.
The point is, I love that Russ because he was on a mission to show the NFL that it was underrating him.
Right.
It was undersizing him. It was not paying him the respect that he would earn from the NFL. And slowly but surely, he earned it. He earned it from his head coach. I'm not sure he ultimately earned it from his Legion of Boom defense, but that was the flashpoint issue. He was still very good playing the underdog quarterback.
Yeah, but you remember, Seattle in free agency plunged on Matt Flynn.
That's why I said Matt Flynn was there, and they'd paid Matt Flynn nothing like this.
Right, they gave him $20 million, which he was a career backup. He had that outstanding game through for over 480 yards against Detroit last game of the season. Green Bay, where he outgunned Matthew Stafford, who threw for over 500 yards in that game.
But Pete Carroll had the guts, had the vision.
He did.
To plunge and say, hey, I'm going with this kid because this kid's been around.
Right.
He was very mature for his age because he played minor league baseball and he'd been around. He'd been North Carolina State, Wisconsin. Played in a lot of big games. And all of a sudden, he takes over Seattle.
Right.
And he becomes the face of the franchise.
Correct.
But it was always as the underdog. I'm fighting for respect.
Right.
Even in my own locker room, I'm fighting for respect. Then he marries a celebrity, and all of a sudden, at some point, the arc changes because he goes over the edge into superstar.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a skill. A professional athlete is one thing, but a celebrity, that's a fanfare. That's something entirely different. And very few NFL players ever enjoy that. Maybe a Brady comes to the top of my head. Like I said, Skip, even Peyton, but Brady had a supermodel also who's internationally acclaimed.
That is correct.
Sierra is internationally acclaimed.
Definitely.
So that's a whole different ball game.
Okay, so now Russ is going on age 34 on November 29th.
Playing like 44.
But he is. But the handwriting was, as you point out, it was really on the locker room wall a year ago in Seattle because Pro Football Focus graded him only the 20th best quarterback by the end of the year. And you could see his stats were starting to show a little wear and tear across the board.
Skip, you know what I think? I think last year, what caused the commotion is that Russ went to Seattle and wanted a contract extension, and they told him no. And when they told him no, that's when his agent put out there he would be interested in leaving and listed the 4 teams that he would be interested in leaving for.
Yep.
And the bridge never got repaired because they never gave him the contract extension.
Nope.
Lo and behold, fast forward, he wants out because they're not going to give him the contract extension. The Broncos is in dire strait of a quarterback, Skip. You know what they've had since Peyton Manning retired. But y'all tell you right now, he's not playing better than Brock Osweiler, Trevor Siemian, or Drew Lock. This play right here, right now, is worse than Brock Osweiler, Trevor Siemian, and Drew Lock.
Okay, I got it. But along that trail that you described, it felt like the Broncos took the Aaron Rodgers bait because they went out and hired Nathaniel Hackett because he was Aaron's favorite. He wasn't the coordinator. He was the quarterback coach.
Yeah.
He wasn't even the play caller. He was actually, his job was to keep Aaron happy and make him laugh. And I think Nathaniel did that at a very high level because Aaron spoke glowingly of Nathaniel.
Right.
So didn't Bronco Nation think, didn't John Elway think, there's a real shot we're going to land Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I'm going to land him first. Okay. I'll let you captain. Hey, no. Bring me the ship, and then I'll let you captain the boat. I'm not going to say I'm not going to make you a captain, and then you don't have the ship. And that's what happened, Skip. I believe you're absolutely right. I believe they thought they could get Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers would want Nathaniel Hackett. He would be very familiar with the system, and everything would be hunky-dory. Well, you don't get Aaron Rodgers. You get a coach that seems that he's over his head.
I think he's
now you got a guy that seems like he's on a major decline. Russell Wilson looked like he stepped off a cliff.
So your team was desperate, and Russ was desperate to get out of Seattle. and it was a match made in hell because neither side was going for the right reasons for each other.
I don't believe Russ was anxious to get out of Seattle. I think he was anxious to get to a contract extension.
Well, but I mean, he wanted love. He wanted late career love from somebody, and all of a sudden, Bronco Nation says, we'll take you. Yeah. We'll love you. We'll hug you. Man, we'll embrace you.
The worst thing you can do is to get into a relationship because you're lonely.
That is correct.
Bad boy.
I agree.
Your boy know a little something about that, but I'm not even interested. But here's the thing. Now it's becoming more and more apparent to me that Russ was propped up by Legion of Boone in that running game, because I've seen that when he doesn't have that, he looks like that. I don't know who that is. That's an imposter. Will the real Russell Wilson, Skip, you remember the game show To Tell the Truth? Yeah. They had three guys, only one person, three people up there. Yep. Only one was who they said they were.
Will the real
Russell Wilson please stand up? Exactly. Will the real Russell Wilson please show up? Because this is unbelievable. Boy, the best thing that happened last night, this man did not end no press conference.
I know
we're talking about Broncos. Skip, I would broke every last one of my TVs.
Let's ride.
Skip, boy, if he just said let's ride, I get look. The one thing I know about Colorado is I know Denver, and I know how they bleed blue and orange for those Broncos. They would have absolutely lost their minds. And the game is Sunday. They play the Jets. Actually, I'm going back because we're having the 25th anniversary of our first Super Bowl team.
Good for you.
Lord have mercy. Skip, it's rough on it's rough. It's rough on me right now, Skip.
So all of a sudden, Russ's corny cliches that he lives by, they don't work anymore.
No, they don't.
They ring hollow because he can't back it up.
Thank you.
Listen, once upon a time, Russ could cook.
Yes.
Because Russ, at his smallish stature, but he was stoutly built, could really move.
Yes.
And groove.
Yes.
And he could get outside the pocket and make up plays on the fly.
Skip, he could get off this. This is the script. Throw that away. Okay, Russ, go do Russ.
Go.
Now he can't do anything off script. If they don't have the perfect play called, Russ is like he's never played quarterback, like he's never understood how to read a defense.
To your point, there was one late blitz where somebody came completely free. He just freezes and goes deer in headlights. There was a time he'd wheel out of that free blitzer.
Yes.
He'd just wheel right out of there and make him look silly.
Right.
And then he'd roll out and he'd look, and all of a sudden somebody uncovers.
Right.
Oh, there he is,
Right.
and I got it.
Yes.
We saw Russ cook some in the first quarter because he completed his first 10 passes.
Yes.
And you think, boy, he's going to cook you all the way home.
Right.
But he didn't, because as the pressure mounted, he began to go deer in headlights. Because to your point, numerous times, I don't have enough, I couldn't even ask for a video to show, let's show this play, because there were so many in the second half. He just freezes and goes blind in the pocket. He can't see what's right before his very eyes. He had checkdowns, or he had tight ends just hooking up.
Short across the wall, right over the ball, right in front of it.
Right in front. What are you looking at? Three times or four times?
Let's see, a Thursday night. Yeah. There was Thursday night. There was Monday night, and again Monday night.
There was a Sunday night.
Sunday night, too.
Yeah.
That might have been the 49ers, didn't it?
It was the 49ers.
Yeah, they beat How the hell did they beat the 49ers?
I don't know. Jimmy G, right?
Yeah. Jimmy gave one.
Okay, quick aside before we get back to Russ and finish on Russ. The play of the game becomes the muff punt by your Denver Broncos in overtime. I'm still not sure about what the rule is here, and I'm still a little lost on why this didn't get further reviewed or
pushing the guy into him.
You can't challenge, but I've got if we could see the play, I'm challenged by a kick coverer who comes right up in his face, and it's like, well, you got to kind of stand your ground and defend yourself. So he goes, he puts his arms up to block. Thought this would be at least reviewed. They didn't even stop, man. They went right on. Nobody said a word about it. I'm like, wait a second.
They had seen enough bad football. They said, no, we do not want the Broncos to get this ball back. Let's end this.
You know what? It was a long, hard game to watch because there was so much bad football.
Even the Chargers. The Chargers playing Justin Herbert, Skip. It's the most passes, 57, without a touchdown pass and a winning effort. I don't know what, in the history of the game, or since the merger, 57, something like that.
Yep.
It had some crazy stat. He threw 57 passes, not one touchdown. He didn't even have 250 yards. That's how good the Broncos defense were last night.
Okay, I'll give him one break. He didn't have Keenan Allen, and I love Keenan Allen. And he did not have that stud of a left tackle out of Northwestern who's been very good, and he's been out. So I'm going to give you a small break there.
Right.
But you did pick them to win the AFC. And they have not played up to your prediction yet.
No, defensively, I don't think they're as good as I thought they were going to be. Bosa is already out. J.C. Jackson has not lived up to being the number one corner, getting big-time max dollars. I think he's one of the highest, 2 or 3 highest-paid corners, and he has not lived up to the billing.
And Brandon Staley is a flat-out mad scientist. And early in that game,
he out of his mind.
He's out of his mind. Yeah.
He gonna end up getting fired doing foolishness. Oh, I have the utmost confidence. It's not about you having confidence in your defense. Numbskull, you don't leave them, Skip. If they don't do anything, they got a chance for a 55-yard field goal. They get a first down, it's 45 yards. What do you mean? You punt the football and make them drive the field.
I don't get it. He would tell you, analytics says you should go for it every time. Well, he's going out of his mind for it.
But here's the thing. Analytics are not factoring in the situation. How you play it up until that point that you want to use said analytics. How's your quarterback playing? What is your situation? What is your injury history? Who's in, who's out? Analytics doesn't factor that in. It just gives you the numbers. If you do this and you complete it, you have a better chance of winning. It's taking in no other variables. None.
So as I began the show by saying, your Lakers are stuck with the Russ, and now your Broncos are stuck with the Russ because there's no way out from under this.
No.
You got to try to figure this one out.
Skip, the earliest you could probably get off him is 2025. And then that would leave you a $31 million dead cap here. That's 2025. You got 23, 24 after the 25 season. So you got 4 years. And good luck trying to, everybody knows that car is putting you downside the road.
And by the way, you have a brand new group of owners. And if I know new owners, they get antsy fast. Like, wait a second.
What?
We're being held responsible for this because all of a sudden the public's saying, well, are you going to do something?
Yeah.
Which would put Nathaniel Hackett on a hot seat.
Sean Payton, you want to coach the Broncos?
There we go.
You know, hey, Sean, I'm going up there. I get the owner's ear for you, bro. Just let me, have your people call my people.
There you are.
I'll sure get in your ear.
You'd be a fabulous agent, Shannon. I can see all the deals you would broker. All right, up next for these two teams, the Jets come calling at the Broncos, and the Seahawks will be visiting the Chargers. That one's on the NFL on Fox. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.